Hey y'all, this is Wallace, vampire. I got some stuffed animals over here, not even ashamed, not even embarrassed. Let me try on a slap real quick. Alright, so it is Sunday. Sunday. Part of me, I do like Sunday. Sunday is a very special day. Like Sunday is a spiritual day, and I love it. And I'm not like a part of me is kind of like this is it's kind of my joking comedy asshole voice, but I'm actually serious. Like I'm using my comedy voice right now, but Sunday, love it. Like, and this is me saying the bad things about Sunday first, but so I can't go to the library. I don't know. I still haven't figured out how to like turn off this is I got two phones and one this phone I don't know how to turn off the notifications. I have no idea. Anywho, um so you got people acting real different. You got kind of a, and what I mean by that, like I almost just got ran over. Sorry, y'all. I don't know why my phone's doing this. I almost got ran over, and I look, and this is one of those things. You gotta be very like. I don't want to make myself sad, but basically, I don't get into too many details, but someone basically ran me off the road, and it's not okay. It's never okay to do that to anybody, obviously. But it's especially not okay if you're doing that to people who are riding bicycles or motorcycles. Like if you're driving up in a car and you're going, you're stopped on an intersection and someone's driving like 50 miles an hour, and trying to scare you. That's never good. So, but I look at the front license. I kind of just like look, trying to, look at the license plate. Like obviously I was annoyed because I'm like, well, you just guys trying to ram me over. I'm gonna go check the license plate. Doodle doodle doo. But anywho, and uh, he had a veteran license plate. So I said, in my head, I was just like, oh, you know, still don't make it right, but at the same time, you know. Anywho, Sunday. So you got people who are, maybe not so friendly. People who maybe don't feel very friendly, and then you got people who are very friendly, and who will come up to you and talk to you and tell you about spirituality, and yeah. So, couple stories, but I kind of want to pick and choose what I want to talk about. Um, I had an interesting conversation with someone from a church who approached me and said that he wanted to help save me, and I was honest with the gentleman, an older gentleman. I said, well, right now, I have not been baptized, and because of who and what I am, I agree with a lot of what you're saying of your beliefs. I agree with some of the things you're saying, but right now, right now I don't feel like it's the right time for that amount of change. And I also told him because of who and what I am, I don't want to cause like being part of a church is, I think, a little bit too much for me. You know, being a vampire, it would. I even was talking to him like really honestly, saying, maybe I could be part of like a small group, you know, and maybe and he was saying, if I accept God, accept Christ, that my life would change. And I agree with you. I do believe that if I was to, make that spiritual leap, and I was telling him, I believe in God. I believe in God, but I told him, I'm not ready for that life change yet. I was trying to be really respectful, and I don't think it's that simple, like I say, it's being a vampire, living a rock star life, being a rock star. It's I'm not just a normal dude, So I'm trying to be respectful, considerate, and I told the guy, I said, I appreciate you. I can feel like you have the Holy Spirit in you, and I could feel your love. And I was like, yeah, thank you. So, and I'm sitting there drinking coffee, and my skin is glowing. I don't know why I'm weird about that. I like to brag a little bit. I feel like it's good for me. It makes me feel good. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm glowing, you know. But anywho, so yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out. Had a nice day. I definitely try not to think too much. Just kind of trying to just be myself, relax. I realize that I can, like I've said in other videos, like I can go into like, uh, I could make my mind, you know, uh, make it more active. For instance, vampiric. I talk about vampiric modes and vampiric mindsets and like leadership mindsets and all of that. For right now, just hanging out, and I'm trying to practice that. Like, I really am trying to develop my uh, like a calm, cool, kind of silly, chill, you know, personality. So I'm just living it. I do like my life right now. Things are coming together. Like I said, um, there are a lot of people. I love people. I love people, and like all kinds of people. And I like being myself. And it's great. It's great. Um, so yeah, just living in the moment. I'm enjoying this video series. Um, I feel like it's pretty effortless. Like, it just comes out naturally. Um, I don't always feel great about certain topics, like talking about like, obviously I have trauma, and part of me wants to use comedy. Part of me wants to be like really considerate, and be conscientious. So I know I'm not perfect. Like, I know I'm not perfect, and most of the time, I don't. I feel like I'm apologizing right now, but I kind of am. I like to apologize, and I want to apologize. I feel it's good to apologize, and I've heard people say, "Well, you shouldn't apologize if you did nothing wrong." Well, it don't matter to me. It's my choice. I'm gonna apologize if I want to. If I'm heartfelt and I felt like I didn't, if something happened, I didn't necessarily do anything, but I was just simply there. I felt like, it's kind of like being a part of the. I just like apologizing. I know I'm like kind of like, I don't know. It feels good. It's like asking for forgiveness too. Like, it's a part of humility. Um, it's good for me. You know, I realize that. So, but Yeah, maybe I'm a little tired. I'm a little bit, kind of a lot going on. Um, I did not get to go to the library. I need to eat still, so I'm hungry. But, but yeah, pretty, pretty much pretty chill day. Um, just gonna rest for a bit, and thank you for thanks for listening, and just happy to be here, happy to be alive, and I guess I am. I'm a little shook by what the with the person trying to help me become a Christian. He he said a couple things that kind of made me feel uncomfortable. Uh, because it in reality it's true. I'm not saying it was wrong for him to say, like, be careful. If you die tomorrow, you know, then you don't get to go to heaven. And to me, it does have like a psychological effect on me. Um, it just hurts. It's like aside from the spiritual aspect of it, aside from the religious part of it, aside from the kind of silliness that I think it's silly, the fact that, I mean, I shouldn't say silly. I think it's I'm trying to say like a I shouldn't have said that, sorry. Not silly, but like there's a part of it that's kind of funny and silly. Like the fact that, that vampire to me, like he knew I could tell that I assumed that he knew I was a vampire. So it seems almost. I mean, it would be fair to say it's silly to get a vampire to join a church, but it's not silly, and that's part of my message. Raising positive awareness of nice vampires. So that's what I meant to say. Um. So yeah, aside from all those aspects, it made me feel bad. Like it made me feel bad. Um, because I truly believe, as I've said before, if you're just being yourself and you're being peaceful and you're just being who you are, uh, if a person says that you're not okay or if that you're not acceptable the way you are, their intentions may be good, but it still hurts. It hurts, and so yeah, it's part of therapy. Instead of getting maybe in the past before I started doing these videos, I might have like gotten upset, but that's not the case now. You know, I just let the I let the feelings flow that I feel inside. Um, I've got a lot of feelings inside right now from different things, so I'm kind of jumbled up, but it's okay. You know, it's gonna make resting that much more enjoyable. You know, but yeah, I feel like every day I'm getting more and more celebrity status, which is really fun. It's really cool. The interactions with people are special. Like I feel like I don't want to say every interaction, but the interactions I'm having are special. Like I can tell that I that I don't want to go as far as to say that some of these interactions and talking to people are life changing for them and for me, but definitely memorable. Definitely memorable. And it's beautiful. It's cool. You know, I mean, I've part of me, it's fulfilling, like a part of me that wants to have purpose, you know. And the more I do that, the more I'm talking to people, and you know, in nice, good ways. Um, the more it's building me up to, you know, want to do greater things. So it's good, you know. And these therapy videos, you know, the support I'm getting for this channel, it's all helping, you know. And you know, part of me is trying to give back, but it's not trying. It's like I'm not trying to give back, so to speak, so much, but I'm just doing it. You know, I'm just being myself. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna go rest for a bit. Thanks for listening, and have a good day.